Hey, it's Mark Ferguson with Invest for More. We're back at the laundromat and we have a few things to do today. One, I want to check and see how clean the machines are because I haven't been real happy lately with our cleaning crews. We actually have two different kind of cleaning crews and neither one are doing a very good job. So we're going to see how clean stuff is and might have to make some changes there. Of course, we're going to collect quarters, see if we break any records or not. That's what we do every Friday. And then we had a surprise in here today. And I still can't quite figure out what happened. So maybe people can help me on this one because it's pretty weird. All right. One other person in there, but we're checking machines to see how clean they are. I was in here the other day. Oh, that is way better. And these were just caked with soap. There was soap everywhere. You could tell they hadn't been cleaning them in a long time. They look way better now. And I wonder if my message got across about that because we have a long-time customer, really good customer. She texts me all the time. Oh, we hard piped our drain, so hopefully that stops that issue too. So it looks so much better. Before there was flex pipe, and that's actually the good laundromat guys who did that, but they kept clogging up and causing issues. Now hopefully that stops. So anyway, she had complained about it being dirty. And so she kind of knows one of the cleaners, I know that. And I mentioned to her, yeah, I might have to get some new cleaners again. And so I'm guessing she went and talked to one of them because she knows them. And they came over and cleaned everything because it looks so much better. I checked these spots yesterday and they were just filled with debris. Or debris, however you want to call it. It was bad, and they're stinky. And so I think she probably told the cleaner, hey, you better get over there and make sure it looks good, or you might not be working there anymore. So I don't know, that's just speculation. Right here, there was soap dripped all the way down the other day, and I came back after the cleaning crew had come, and they'd wiped down just like the outside a tiny bit, like hardly cleaned at all. And then our other cleaning crew, which is supposed to be, a few people working real quick, they're supposed to come 3 or 4 days a week. I know they weren't coming that much and still charging us the same because I could see it on cameras, and I'd come in and it wasn't as clean, and I asked them what was going on, and like, oh, our girls were there. They just said it was real clean, so they didn't need to clean it. I'm like, no, that's not true. So I could see on the cameras, and it was really dirty the next day because we had our drain trough overflow and flood the laundromat, and so I actually ran over there and squeegeed it into their drain, but it was not very clean after that. So I knew that was not the case. We still have some machines down. The one on the back is that door, and we still need to get these relabeled. We're supposed to put different numbers on them, but anyway, I was trying to figure out which number is which. Sometimes resetting it works, sometimes it doesn't, so I was going to try to reset it again and see if that works, because sometimes if people hang on the door, they try to open it when it's in operation, that'll pull a door code and there's nothing wrong with it, it'll be working. But sometimes it's not a door sensor, because I feel like we just replaced that sensor or worked on it. Maybe it wasn't fixed all the way and that's the issue, but yeah, I was confused on which one is which and if I was turning it off or not, because it kept saying door and it wasn't fixing itself like I hoped it would, and it turned out, yeah, it's just resetting it is not fixing that issue. We're gonna have to dive deeper into it. I'm still okay with the amount of machines we have. This one right here, I think has a clogged water valve or needs a new one. We're gonna check that out soon. I haven't had a chance to do it, but we have 5 others just like it. This one right here is a 60-pounder. We have another one. We have 80-pounders. That 40-pounder that worked its way out of the concrete, that one, I'm not sure how much work it's going to take because it might have shaken itself loose in multiple areas, and not just from the concrete, but actually broken some parts of it. So for the most part, things are still working. I'm not stressed about it. And we didn't have too many calls. I don't think we had any calls about machines not working. Okay. Or no, yes we did. We did at the start of the week. But it turns out a lot of it was, one, someone put their quarters in too fast, that machine's working fine. Another one, it was just like what happened? Something else that was kind of a customer issue, not a machine issue. Another one was a door code, but we reset it and it worked just fine. So there's always stuff going wrong, but there was less stuff going wrong this week than last week. And all our dryers still work except for that one. And yes, I keep talking about switching the electronics so the top one works and not the bottom one, but I haven't done that yet either. So eventually we will. I got a sign for the 8 load washers, but it's so much smaller than I thought. I thought I was getting a bigger sign I could hang from the ceiling, and it's a tiny sign. So I need to get a bigger one, but I made a little bit of progress. Here's the trough that keeps overflowing, and the problem was, you can see right there that drain. We put this drain on because I thought it would stick up higher and stop it from clogging up and overflowing. It made it worse. It was so much worse. It just clogged with flint. Like every 3 or 4 days, it was overflowing. So we just took all the covers off and just let everything flow, and hopefully that fixes it and it stops flooding the laundromat every week or twice a week. All right. Hey, that's not bad. I was a little worried about sales this week again. We had a really good weekend. We brought in $11.97 or something, which is almost a record. Our record's $12.07. Cash brought it over the weekend from our change machine, and so we almost set a record, so that was good. But then I felt like there weren't as many people here during the week again. And when I put quarters in here on Wednesday, I didn't have to put many in either. But this looks better. There's definitely more gone. I think there's more cash in there than we have had. And so I fill those up because they barely last the weekend. And if my bucket's all the way gone, it's usually going to be a good week. Usually a good week because we almost always take in more quarters than we give out. So if my bucket's gone, usually we'll have a better week than last week. For the vending machine, I got a bunch of new stuff last weekend or 2 weekends ago, and it seems to be selling okay, so that's good. I feel like when we get good stuff, sales go up a little bit. And that was pretty heavy, so that's not bad. We'll count that up, and then I restock that as well. I go to Sam's like once every 3 or 4 months, so it's not like a huge, crazy deal. The biggest issue is just making sure I buy stuff that doesn't expire. Because if it expires in a month, I'm probably not going to use all of it, and we're going to waste a bunch of food. The soap machine, people used a little bit of it. Last week was crazy, I feel like. This week, not too bad. I don't think it's going to wow anybody with the amount we collected there, but it's been worse. What we really care about are the washers and dryers, and I'm hoping we did better this week, because the last couple of weeks have been pretty disappointing after we added the bigger machines. My keys are always falling apart. That's a constant struggle too. All right, so here's soap machine money. We'll see how much we have there. Not a ton, but like I said, we've seen worse. And then the vending machine, I'm curious to see how much is in there. I feel like last week was opposite. We had a really good soap machine and a really bad vending machine week. But like I said, these aren't nearly as important as the washers and dryers. Oh, it stopped on me. Over $160, over $40. So yeah, that was really good for the vending machine. Now, let's see what is in our machines. So, I did things a little different over the weekend, and I'm not supposed to put those quarters in that bucket anymore. I'm changing things up. So over the weekend, I needed to empty the 80-pounders and my front ones twice. So I'm doing it different now, where I'm going to put all of my big machines in one bucket every week and all of my smaller machines in one bucket every week. So this is a 50-pounder. It classifies as a big machine, and that's the quarters I already collected from this last weekend. So we collected a lot of quarters this weekend. Hopefully that's a good sign. So the 180-pounder, that's not much.
Go ahead.
But we did, like I said, already collect quarters from it once earlier. And sometimes I have no problems getting that in. Sometimes I struggle.
Once or twice a week.
Here's the other 80-pounder. Not bad. It would be real close if it overflowed or not, if we didn't empty it twice a week. So I think it's better that we do. And then we'll go and check. We have the 2 other big machines down that row, the 60-pounder and 40-pounder, but they're out of commission, so we don't have to do those yet. I feel like people love that 40-pounder too for some reason, so that's just a bummer that it shook itself to death. Hopefully it's not dead. It's just sleeping. All right, here is another 50-pounder. Not bad. And here's another 40-pounder. Not bad. These are pretty full. when I checked them on Monday. And I have shorts that show you that. So if you want to see how full it was, go to Monday and watch my short. That's really full. That's good to see. That would have been way, way overflowing if we hadn't checked it or done it twice. And my 60-pounder, that's pretty full too. So that's a good sign. Now we've got all our big machines checked. Now we can check the small machines and see what they've got. And then of course we'll check the dryers too. Oh, and people keep rearranging my tables. That table is supposed to kind of go out lengthwise and there's chairs by it. And people keep putting them in different configurations and moving our chairs around, and just I feel like how we did it works well, and when people move it around it makes things more crowded and tight, which is a little annoying. But as usual, I forgot to move them back or fix them where I wanted, so all my complaining for not. Not bad. Not bad from that one. That machine, I think, needs a new motherboard, so we're just leaving it for a while. I don't have to empty these twice a week, so this is just a full week from these. And that's why the bucket started empty, because we haven't emptied any of them yet. Not bad again. Okay, that's fine. Nothing special, but fine. Whoa, what? This is what I was talking about in the beginning of the video. My coin box is totally empty. And I looked back through my video after this happened, and I tried to see if it was tight, and it looked like it was tight. It didn't look like it was loose and like someone stole my quarters. And it's so weird. I was so confused. And this happened to me at the small laundromat, right? If you guys remember that, if you watched that. There were a bunch of clothes in it for a week, I think, and that's why nobody used it. There's no clothes in this one. I tested it out. It works fine. So I don't know what's going on. So I haven't done it yet, but I wanted to ask the cleaners. I wanted to ask the guy, my contractor type handyman who works on machines, if he was there, if anybody knows what happened with that. Because sometimes it's happened before. There's an issue, there's a problem, or we're switching out machines, and my guy takes our coin boxes and empties them into my bucket without telling me. And I'm like, hey, you can't do that. I have these counts, I'm trying to keep track of stuff. It's like, oh yeah, sorry. So I don't know what happened. But it should not be empty, because even if that machine isn't working, it showed no error codes, it showed no problems, so people would still try to use it, and there should be something in there, even if it wasn't working. And like I said, no one mentioned it to me, so I'm very confused on that one. These are very full, though. These are very full. I mean, it's possible someone, stole it. I doubt, these keys... That's one thing too. People are always like, oh, you can get these keys online. No, you can't. They have thousands of different key combinations for these boxes. So these are not easy to get. And you have to have special keys made even if you have the code. And those are very hard to get too. They're not easy at all and very expensive to get. And you have to have the code to be able to match them. So it's doubtful that happened. And why would they just take one box if that was the case, if for some reason they had the key? That doesn't make any sense because a lot of those are keyed the same. So I'm so confused, unless it was just not locked all the way and someone took it. But again, they would have had to take it today, this morning, or last night, or else there'd be money in it from people using it again. So I don't know. I'll ask around and see if I can figure out what happened. So we might have less money from the washers than we should have had. If those boxes are doing well, there's probably $30 in them maybe, I don't know, but we'll see. Alright, so this is the washer money. As I said, I just dumped in the big machines, the small machines first, and there was $2,500, $2,600. I wasn't paying attention. But this is the first time I've ever done this, so it doesn't tell us a whole lot this time. And now here are these big machines. So the last few weeks, I've been pretty disappointed. I've had just over 5,000 coins. I want to have way, way, way more because I spent money on bigger machines and adding them. I'm hoping to have like over 6,000 quarters. But I'd just like to do better than the last few weeks, hopefully. And so far I am. So thank you, quarter gods. Over 5,600. That's good. That makes me feel better. Because I was like just getting a little disappointed with our quarter count before. And I didn't know if it's because it wasn't clean, if we had other issues, what it was. If people don't like the machines we just paid for, which would suck because we spent a lot of money on those. But that makes me feel a little better. I still like that to be higher, but it makes me feel better. All right, now we're checking the dryers. That first box was really full. That was nice. That's pretty nice too. So this is looking decent as well. I'm still thinking about that empty box, trying to figure out what would have happened there. And I have cameras. I can go through and look at cameras. It's such a pain to look at cameras. You know, my office was broken into a couple years ago. We had cameras. They caught the guy. I think they're still awaiting trial 2 years later. Been in jail the whole time. But they want me to look through all my cameras, look through everything, every footage. It takes hours and hours and hours to do that. Even fast forwarding, and it's tricky in here. You know, if someone broke in and stole all the money, that'd be a little, obviously willing to take the time to do that and look for the cameras and see what happened. But in this situation, it's hard to pinpoint exactly when it happened, although it was probably fairly recently if someone did take them. What happened? So I'll do some checking and looking, but that's just weird. There's always weird stuff going on here. But this looks like a fairly good amount of money from the dryer, so that's good news too. We will count that up, see what we've got. Someone had asked me to, because I posted our good weekend on shorts like I do on TikTok and everywhere, and we almost had a record collecting quarters, and we showed the big boxes that we were emptying, and someone's like, oh, someone's selling the laundromat, they're trying to market it. I'm like, no, I just show this all the time. But this would be definitely, we're trying to sell the other small laundromat. It'd probably be way, way easier to sell this one because it makes money. It's got the big machines. It's set up pretty nice. So, whoops-a-doodle. Yep, dropped my camera everywhere. But we did have over 2,000 quarters from the dryer. If you saw that, I speed up my video. So that's a good sign too, because that's over $500. So let's see what we've got total this week and compare it to our last couple of weeks, which were disappointing. But 3 weeks ago, or was it 4 weeks ago now, was awesome. We had like $2,500 come in, which smashed all previous records by a tremendous amount. So it's weird that we were down so low after that. But, oh man, I forgot about that. This is like my 1 year anniversary of being open. This is the first week in December. We opened the first week in December last year. Oh, so I better make this will not be the 1 year anniversary video. Maybe next week we'll have a 1 year anniversary video and talk about all kinds of things with the laundromat. And if you have ideas, tips, numbers you want me to share, please comment below and tell me what you'd like to see in that video, and we'll try and make that happen. There was our record. And then, like I said, it was down. One of those weeks was lower than we had been having before we had new machines. But 2,002 this week, over 2,000. So that was good. Only twice have we been over 2,000, I think. So it was a good week. Again, I'm still hoping to get close to that 2,500 at some point. Hopefully that happens. But we had more in the dryers, had more in the washers, and that's what pushed us ahead. And maybe we should have had even more, based on that one washer being empty. And actually, I'm going to look at some of my numbers here and see. We had 1,404 from the washers, and we had 532 from the dryers. So looking at my previous weeks, did we ever have 14? We had a 1439 from the washers and 514 from the dryers. We had a 1411 from the washers and 512 from the dryers. So should we have had more from the washer? Maybe. It's hard to say just from that minor speculation. But maybe we're missing a little bit of money and I'm not sure where it went. Maybe I can find out. Maybe not. So we'll check on that. We'll see if we can figure out what happened. At least it was good news that our sales are up. More people are coming. Hopefully it gets and stays cleaner from now on too. Because I think both cleaners know they're kind of on watch now for what kind of job they do. We'll see. And then, yeah, we welcome all comments, suggestions, ideas. Doesn't mean I'll listen to them, but we welcome them. And we'll have more videos on this one, my other laundromat that's for sale, our flips, our rentals, and a lot of other exciting stuff coming up. Be back soon.